Hello my friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miroslava, the Metaphysical Chick, Multiverse Ambassador, here to help you master the Matrix by expanding your mind. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been seeing an increase in extraterrestrial content across all social media platforms. I don't know if you heard about something or what happened in Las Vegas with these extraterrestrial beings showed up in the backyard of some family. It was absolutely crazy. But anyways, what I am sharing with you today is a channeling session with an extraterrestrial being that used to work with the government. They were in charge, or this group was in charge of monitoring the airspace, and it's pretty crazy. So if this is something you would like to dive deeper into, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm gonna get straight into the channeling session. I wrote everything down or typed everything in my computer, so I'm gonna be looking down, reading out of the document, and I will be inserting my own perspective or thoughts as I go through it. So let's get started. There are two agendas. One belongs to us, extraterrestrial groups, and one belongs to your governments. Our intention is to keep showing up, to continue flying in your skies, not to engage, but in hopes that you will see and get familiar with our ships. You are not alone. And as I was typing this, I had, I don't know if it was a vision or like this sense that a lot of the extraterrestrial sightings that we see are not of extraterrestrial origin, but well, this is something that he's going to get into in a little. He goes on to say that their intention, the intention of the government, is to control the narrative surrounding our ships, which is the extraterrestrial ships. They seek to control the way in which physical disclosure takes place by planting their own technology and undisclosed spacecraft. We are not intentionally fighting with your people in power. They lack connection, heart, spirit. They operate with a fearful mind. Therefore, regardless of what we do or say, they will always expect the worst case scenario. Some of us try to communicate. We made our intention clear. We do not seek control. We simply ask for truth to be known. The planet is fertile ground. At this time, whatever is seeded will grow. So we want the seed of truth to be planted. Whether it's your government that speaks, or us, or you, the intention is for truth to be known, and it starts now. And in this part of the channeling session, I was asking questions. So I asked, are they, the shadow government, hunting down your spacecraft? He answered, hunting down is not the word. I asked, so what is it? He answered, there is new technology in place to stop us from entering restricted airspace, or what they now consider restricted. We crossed the line, they pulled the plug. Doesn't work with most of our ships, but some have fallen. And when I was channeling this information, tuning into the energy of this being, what I was feeling was a lot of sadness and frustration. I actually made a note here, and I wrote, it's like the people in power are being very controlling and are making sure that only what they want us to see is seen. And what they want us to see is human operated craft rather than the real deal extraterrestrial spacecraft. I went on to ask, what is happening to the fallen aircraft? He answered, taken. I asked, what about the sky people within the aircraft? He answered, taken. I then asked, by who? His answered, the US shadow government. There are bases, some hidden in plain sight. I then asked, have all the fallen sky people been taken? His answer is no. Some have been able to return safely. Humanity is a beautiful thing, but some of your people do have the ability to bring much destruction. All some care about is power. All we want is truth and freedom. I feel like, and this is a note that I wrote here myself, I feel like again this being is having a hard time sharing information. This is something that hurts him. He feels sad. A note that I made here is that my perception of his energy is that he feels like a renegade, like a rebel. I perceive him as a member of a group of extraterrestrial beings that went rogue, It's like they once worked with those in power on earth, but refused to keep engaging in heinous acts and decided to part ways and harmonize the polarity of energies within themselves to serve the better good of humanity and the universe itself. What I see when I feel this energy is a Nordic looking man, blonde hair, light skin, tall, and very sad eyes. That's what I wrote here. One of the things that I was feeling also tuning into the frequency of this being is that they were doing a lot of very dark stuff with the government. I don't know if you've heard about the bases, the underground bases. I was watching a few videos of podcasts a few weeks ago, and they were discussing or having a conversation about the Dulce base. I can't remember exactly what it is, but if you do a little bit of research, you'll get an idea of what this being was involved in. But like I said, this being, along with many other beings, there is a large group of people, or sky people like I call them, that have made the choice to part ways and to harmonize the polarity within themselves, to start doing good, to really, one of what I was channeling, the message that I received tuning into him, is that they are now ready to embark on a mission of service that begins with the upliftment of humanity and then will extend to the upliftment and the harmonization of polarities within the universe itself. So this is a process that is beginning for them. They are now beginning to harmonize the negative and the positive polarities within to embark on a journey of service to not just humanity but the universe as a whole. So I believe that these are beings that are rebels, and they wanted to explore darkness and they wanted to explore the negative polarity. And this is something that's, for some reason, I resonate with, because I've shared in the past that I am part of the Ashtar Command. And what I feel tuning into the Ashtar Command is that we are renegades. We were not so good people, or sky peoples, extraterrestrials, in some of our lifetimes, but it's like that's something that we had to experience in order to understand what happens in the negative polarity and what exists in the positive polarity, and how we can harmonize those to become more whole and more complete. So this is something that these beings, or this group of extraterrestrials, are now embarking on. This is something that they are currently experiencing. I went on to say here, these are more notes that I made, that he was part of an extraterrestrial group monitoring the Earth. This group worked with the one government. He is now involved in the process of seeking truth through sightings of extraterrestrial aircraft. His group is targeted by the one government because they decided to cut off all association with them. And now, because they do not offer the one government yummy exchange, they are seen as a threat. This all feels very dark, heavy. I don't like to engage in this sort of energy, but I feel it truly wanted to be expressed. And again, when I was tuning into this energy, if you do research as to what happens in underground bases, what the government itself, along with other extraterrestrial beings, do to people, to animals, to the earth herself, it's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. And again, I do feel like a lot of dark stuff was taking place. This extraterrestrial group said no more, enough, and they are now collaborating, co-creating, working with the Galactic Federation that is in the positively polarized frequency or agenda, and other extraterrestrial groups that are currently monitoring the Earth or whatever is taking place on Earth. So this group is no longer working with the government and is now working with positive or benevolent extraterrestrial beings. I then went on to ask, how can we help? He answered, speak the truth. You are not alone. Never have been. You are existing in a mental prison, enslaved, controlled, taken advantage of. We just want this to be known. Speak to those who are ready to listen. Do so with compassion, with love. There's nothing to be afraid of, because once you realize this truth, that you are free. Nothing can ever have control over you. You have the power. So what do you think, my friend? This information to me felt very real. And although this is simply my perspective, my translation of frequencies and codes and energy, it feels real to me. I resonate with it, and it feels like there is something so big taking place with extraterrestrial beings and humanity in general, the US government. And what they mentioned here, they kept saying, and the word that I felt was appropriate for this is the one government, because this includes not only the US government, but governments across the entire planet. And those are very high up, and it's few people that are involved, but man, they do a lot of crazy shit. So yeah, I wanted to share this because like I said at the beginning, there is a lot going on within the extraterrestrial world. This is kind of going mainstream, and we are seeing a lot more people talking about this. So this is a word of caution, just to use discernment and to tune into the feeling, tune into the heart to see what is true to you, what feels right, what feels real. And so that you can start making choices and also start speaking up yourself, share your experiences, and open up, like really tune into the love and tune into the heart. Surround yourself with light, because there is a lot of energetic debris out there that is not so positive. So surround yourself with light, ground yourself in the earth, and feel the support, feel the love, and look up to the skies, because they're everywhere. And like this being mentioned, they are not here to engage, but to make themselves known so that we can get familiar with the true extraterrestrial crafts. And I feel like there is something big coming. I don't know if it's going to be this year. I don't feel it's going to be this year. It's going to be a process, and it's going to progressively get more and more and more real and true. And a lot of us are going to start really seeing them. And if you are spiritually connected, you will begin to communicate with them, channeling with them, and feeling their love and their support and their compassion for all of us. Because although I was feeling a lot of sadness coming from this being and a lot of frustration, there was a lot of hope, because they do believe that humanity is waking up and there is a lot of potential. The seeds that are being planted now are meant to grow, and they will grow, but it's only if you water them. It is only with your nurturing love and your compassion and your energy, with your voice, that they will grow and they will bloom and become something beautiful. So yeah, do not be afraid. There is nothing to be afraid of. We all know that there is crazy shit going on underground, things behind the scenes that we cannot see, but just know and have faith and trust that there are extraterrestrial beings that are now turning their backs against the government, and they are not fighting. Well, maybe they are actually. I feel like there may be actual physical wars and spiritual battles taking place, but this is something that is happening because it's time for change. It's time that the power returns to the individual, to the people, to you, to myself, and it is happening. So thank you so much for being here, my friend. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and leave me a comment to just let me know if you resonated with this or what you think is taking place with all those extraterrestrial sightings and what you hope for the future. Check out my social media. All the links are going to be in the description. Check out my Etsy shop. I have a new Kundalini activation collection live, and this collection is full of powerful pieces that are very, very special to me. So if you would like to support me, check out my Etsy shop. And I believe that's it. So I am going to leave this here. I'll see you next time, my friend. Bye.